Welcome to ESPN's Feast Week, presented by Lowe's. You're watching the Marriott Bonvoy men's battle for Atlantis. It's Paradise Island, Bahamas, a perfect getaway for those in need of sun and sand this time of the year. But every Thanksgiving, it's also the battle for Atlantis, one of college basketball's fiercest tournaments. Vanderbilt and Western Kentucky coming your way in Game 1. Here's a look at the field. Dave O'Brien, Jimmy Dykes, Corey Alexander, Kevin Brown have the night session. St. Mary's is one of the favorites. Jimmy, they take on Wichita State.
Yeah, I think Vanderbilt, St. Mary's, Virginia Tech, all three of those teams look like NCAA tournament teams early this season. VCU and South Florida, I think they're also favored to get the automatic bid out of their league. There could be 4 or 5 NCAA teams out of this bracket this year. And Vanderbilt right now, how hot are they offensively? 103 points per game, best scoring offense in the country. They move the ball, they move each other, and man, they fly up and down that court. Very difficult team to contain. Western Kentucky, what do they do well, OB? They take care of the daggum basketball. Look at that, only 9 turnovers a game. They've got to stay tight with that ball today and not let that fast-paced Vanderbilt, all-gas, no-break system get out in the open floor.
Yeah, both teams want to play up-tempo, put up a lot of points. We certainly wish you were here, but happy holiday to you, and we are underway as Vanderbilt wins the opening tip, trying to stay perfect. They come in at 5-0.
Sand and sun and basketball. Who doesn't need those 3 things in life, huh?
And plenty of Dolphins when it comes to Jimmy Dykes. We'll get to that in a moment as Tegan Moore takes over. He's a top scorer for Western Kentucky at 18 points a game. Got to be huge today, but a quick theft by Tyler Tanner.
Yeah, Tyler Tanner is one of the best point guards in college ball. Certainly one of the best defensive point guards in college ball.
He's going to fire it up. He came into the Bahamas hitting everything, 52% from three-point land, but he misses the first one.
Dave, it's interesting, the team in red, they average 90 points a game. They only make 5 threes per game. They drive it and they make 2s, and just like I say that, Cam Hafner says, but don't forget about me.
Cam Hafner, 6'2" senior, transfer from Evansville. As we look at the Vandy starting 5, they are also incredibly efficient with the basketball. In turnovers, 7.6 a game. That's number 2 fewest in the country.
What a pass.
Downstairs and finished up by Devin McLaughlin at 6'8".
Did that ball not go between the defender's legs?
I believe it did.
That Tyler Tanner just delivered?
For the Hilltoppers, a look at their starting 5. Hackman, the junior, Newell, 6'9".
Just as I said, Tyler Tanner is one of the best defensive on-ball defenders in the country. Watch this pass. Right through the legs of Blaze Keita. They can't get more creative than that out of TT Tyler Tanner.
All right, so there are a lot of Tylers on the Vandy team. There are 3 of them, so we got to keep everything straight. Mark Byington, the head coach, has his own system for doing that.
He does. Tyler Tanner is TT. Tyler Nickel is T-Nick. And Tyler Harris is very creative Tyler Harris.
Just Tyler Harris. Keep it simple there. Moore gets tied up on the play. Possession arrow will keep it on this end for Western Kentucky. Up by a point early. They come in at 4-0. So a closer look at the Tylers. This makes practice a lot of fun for the head coach.
It does, but all 3 of those guys are terrific offensive weapons. And there you see what Tegan Moore can do. This guy is a very physical, downhill driving guy that gets the free throw line 7-8 times a game. He is the heart and the soul and the oxygen of this Western Kentucky offense.
Good foul shooter, too, at 82%. At the stripe here, Okereke with a foul for Vandy. Hilltoppers finished 7th in their conference, in Conference USA last year. Hank Plona, the head coach. His team is picked in the bottom of a 12-team league this year. They are hopeful they're going to be a lot better than that and off to a really nice start this year.
They certainly are. They were besieged by injuries last year. But Hank Plona, a longtime junior college coach, he's used to flipping rosters from one year to the next and getting teams to gel early.
Tanner with a wild pass way over the head of Okereke. Mentioned Mark Byington, year number 2 for Vandy. He guided James Madison to a school record 32 wins a couple of years ago. Came to Vandy, won 20 a season ago. He took them to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, these 2 guys can really coach. And Mark Byington is as good as anybody in college ball. especially offensively. Very creative guy. Recruits to his system specifically. Went to the NCAA tournament his first year, the rugged SEC, and they look like a team again that's going to get there in year 2.
Yeah, they just bumped into the top 25 for the first time in the last poll. That one backed in by Tegan Moore. He has early going for the Hilltoppers.
He is a physical driver, a downhill dude that Vanderbilt right now questioning who do we have that can guard the bounce against 30 in red.
Cherokee putting down the shoulder, flips up with the left hand. That's a very tough shot, but he gets it to go. The 6'7" grad. He's a great story. He graduated Cornell in 3 years as an economics major. A foul here. But the Hilltoppers leading 7-4. That'll go against Cana of Western Kentucky.
Well, this is taking more again. The inability to stay in front of him is a problem early in this game for Mark Byington. And he doesn't beat you with speed or explosiveness. It's all strength out of 30 in red for the Hilltoppers.
And 20-6 in their win over Tennessee State, 22 against Eastern Kentucky. Scored over 3,000 points in high school. He's done nothing but score all his life. Miles, oh, great dish. And laid up and in by McLaughlin with the pass by Duke. Miles made it.
All 5 guys that Mark Byington puts on the floor can really pass the ball. A lot of times he'll refer to his starting 5 as all guards. You can see why. A team assist ratio of 3-to-1 is tremendous.
Well, we said right off the top, both sides want to get it and go. They're living up to that here in the opening minutes in the Bahamas. More around the back. Shot clock is down to 6. That's inside. We'll draw the foul. And the whistle against Vandy. Back to that give a couple of moments ago. That was a dandy.
Well, Duke Miles came here last year with Oklahoma and won the battle for Atlantis. But again, this is their ability to space the floor. All 5 guys can handle, all 5 guys can pass. And that's why they rank first in the country right now so far at 103 points a game. That ball moves, people move. Nothing gets stuck, feet or ball.
They'll face stiffer competition here on Paradise Island for sure. But in 4 of the 5 games, they've scored 104 or more, and the other one 92.
Yeah. I think Mark Byington, we talked about the matchup problem against Tegan Moore. A.K. Okereke, number 10 in black, I think is the best defensive guy built to stay in front of that ball, because what did Mark say yesterday about Okereke? He's a middle linebacker as a defender.
Yes.
Does a great job of playing with his chest, and that's the initial assignment now for Okereke in this game.
He said, you go into that chest, he doesn't move, but you do. You move like 3 feet backwards. Pull up by Miles, denied. Here's Collins into the game, slicing inside. Can't hit that, batted around, he got it back. Here's Miles, and it hit it. A 3-pointer for Duke Miles. As Jimmy mentioned, he was on a team that won this tournament last year. Not Vanderbilt, but Oklahoma.
Yeah.
He cut down the nets on this very court.
I mean, if you put yourself in the portal, the first thing you look at, who else is going to the Bahamas are the teams I'm looking at. That's right. That's what I would look at.
Sure. Well, you do, because you come every year. You're the mayor of Paradise Island. You're beloved here.
Well, they immediately, Vanderbilt, they get that floor spread, and they don't play on top of each other. A lot of good looks.
McLaughlin, long range, can't hit it. Hilltoppers want to run quickly to Moore. He'll fire it up and nail it. He can really shoot.
He can shoot it, he can drive it, averaging 18 points a game. And you cannot celebrate against Vanderbilt. You better score and sprint to the other end. And Vanderbilt just runs it right up the backside of Western Kentucky for an easy 2.
And McLaughlin, 6'8", very underrated. Coming in 10 points, 7 rebounds a game. He has 6 quick points in this one. And the pace is exactly what we thought. A rare turnover here for the Hilltoppers. They already have 3 in this game. That's Vandy's pace biting them early on. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball brought to you by Marion Bonvoy and by Atlantis Paradise on the Bahamas, the discovery of a lifetime.
Makai, you told me a joke earlier, I'm going to repeat it. What's the most important thing when the Dolphins are in a race? To be the first one to the finish line. Yeah, the finish line. Finish line. That's funny. Yeah, it's funny.
He is Dr. Doolittle. He talks to the animals. It's incredible, your association with the Dolphins, and many, many more of those coming up. Yeah. Jokes just like that. So.
that was the highlight. They get a little worse from there. The importance to get to the finish line, try to get to the finish line of this championship in Atlantis and what you're after. It's a field this year that lacks maybe some big-name blue blood star power, but I'm telling you, there's 4 or 5, I think, NCAA tournament teams that we're going to look back in March and say, wow, that field in Atlantis was better than we all thought. Vanderbilt certainly, I think, is going to be there. And Hank Plum's got a squad right now. Given Vanderbilt fits early, it starts with taking more 30 in red.
Vandy with the basketball down 1. Washington up top. The North Carolina transfer. Kid Ray Nashville in Washington. Part of a pretty deep Vandy team. Both of these teams will go 10 deep probably today. The handoff for the freshman Boone and taken away. Stolen away by Collins. He goes airborne. No foul, no whistle. On the outlet, here's Morrigan. He has 7 points. Tiptoeing through the rejection and a foul on the play. They'll get McLaughlin for the personal. He'll pick up number 1. He thought he had it cleanly, but a personal foul.
Taken more missed last season with hip surgery, but he is the heartbeat and the oxygen of this Western Kentucky offense. Again, just knows how to get fouled, physical. You can't go through him at all. He goes through you. He's the Owen County High School in Day Ridge, Kentucky. He set the state free throw made record for Kentucky high school basketball. He made 848 free throws in high school. Wow. State record in Kentucky.
In high school. Almost 1,000 points at the line.
Yeah.
Dry Ridge, Kentucky, leading scorer for Western Kentucky is 8 points. Give him 9. And he's been the early story here in game 1 at Atlantis. Miles outside. The Vandy's top 20 football team getting a lot of attention with the basketball squad scoring at a wild clip. Undefeated coming here to Paradise Island. The swing for Harris, Tyler Harris, shot clock a factor, down to 4. Miles on the attack, gets up there and draws the foul with 1 on the shot clock, and he'll be headed to the line.
But Obi, that was a defensive clinic by Western Kentucky for the first 29 seconds of that possession. They are climbing right up into the jersey of Vanderbilt, guarding their yard, putting extreme ball pressure on. As a result, Miles just has to go make a play. Washington does a good job of clearing out some space to get Miles downhill a little bit. But man, what a defensive effort so far by the Hilltoppers.
And eventually fouled by Terry Murdix. He picked up number 2, so he's going to have to come out, one of the starters. And Boone, the freshman, back on for Coach Plona. Miles to the line, 74%. Came into this one with 28 assists, Jimmy, in the first 5 games, only 2 turnovers. Talking about the man at the line, Miles.
Yeah, think about that. He and Tyler Tanner, how good and clean they are with the basketball. You can play them together, you can interchange, and keep that ball moving offensively. Well, Western Kentucky, Hank Plona, you can tell he's told his guys, you guard yours and start this game and see if they can go by you. If not, man, that is money in our back pocket.
Vandy putting on a press in the backcourt. But Myers will walk it across here. 14-13, Western Kentucky. Here's Boone off the fake. Went up strong and draws the foul. He really attacked that rim. Now the 3rd annual NBA Cup rolling on tonight. Thanksgiving Eve. Group stage triple header. Pistons Celtics beginning the day. And Timberwolves and Thunder, Rockets and Warriors capping it off. It all starts with NBA Countdown at 4:30. Nice little NBA appetizer before Thanksgiving.
Talk about Western Kentucky defense. How about the Thunder? How they get after you. This looks like a team that's going to win 65, 70 games this year in the NBA. I love this kid right here for Western Kentucky. A freshman out of Lexington has found minutes early. Deflections, defensively, he's got a motor that doesn't stop. Corbin Ward is going to be a heck of a player.
Lexington. Already won 2 straight Conference USA Freshman of the Week.
Well, they are right up into those jerseys, are they not?
Big time. Dallas. Western Kentucky giving Vandy all they can handle here in the early minutes in game one. Nearly picked off there, batted free by Collins. Arrows down the lane, floats it, that won't drop. Vandy's missed a number of close-in shots early. Both teams are playing hard. Western Kentucky just playing a little bit harder, even in that transition. They had 4 jerseys at the rim for the miss. Vanderbilt only had 2. Then takes the bump, he goes down, draws another foul. Really active with the basketball. He takes the hit by Jalen Washington, his second.
I mentioned it earlier, Western Kentucky, they average 90 points a game, but they only make 5 threes a game. So how are they doing it? They are a 2-point downhill driving, get to that free throw line team where they converted at a pretty good rate, and that's exactly how they've started the first 7 minutes of this one.
Yeah, who plays that way anymore? Yeah, not very many. Tons of twos. Playing in Conference USA with Liberty. They got an NCAA tournament bid last year. Along with Kennesaw State in that conference. Middle Tennessee, New Mexico State.
I think Rich McKay's got another really good team at Liberty. He's got a couple of guys back from last year. Preseason All-Conference USA. Zach Cleveland and Caden McCain. Rich McKay, that leading coach, is going to be about college ball as well.
Kentucky by 4. On the drive, all the way through goes Frankie Collins, the transfer from TCU. For the bucket, his first.
Collins is the one guy that is trying, I can beat my guy off the balance, and Mark Myers is probably going to stick with him because of that ability so far.
Looking at a backdoor cut, batted away by McLaughlin. Hilltoppers will keep it here with 15 on the shot clock.
I think he is Vanderbilt's most important guy for everything he does as a 6'8" versatile offensive and defensive player. The one guy that Vanderbilt can't do without this year is 99.
Boone with a cut to his right. Shovel pass, that's going to be batted away by Collins and Vandy, so Western Kentucky will keep it. The shot clock down to 8. And the Hilltoppers to check it in. They are 4-0, including a 3-point road win at Eastern Kentucky. Vandy beat Eastern Kentucky by 30 points. So if you just looked at that, you'd say this is going to be blowout city. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because Western Kentucky can guard.
Air ball by Boone, and out it goes back over to Vandy. And Vandy, one of the 14 SEC teams to go to last year's NCAA tournament. How many this year do you think?
I don't think it's going to be that number. The SEC has taken a step back so far in non-conference play, where last year they were a juggernaut. They were knocking off everybody, and I think it's a league that's probably going to have 11, maybe 12. Mark Byington agreed with us yesterday, but I think the Big 12 has more national championship threats right now than anybody else.
Tanner, 52% from the three-point line, and he gives Vandy their first lead at 18-17.
Obi, that's easy money. You cannot let Tyler Tanner just ease his way and dribble into a transition 3.
Boone finding an open shooter in the corner. It won't drop, though, for Newell in transition. Up ahead for Nickel. Nickel has it plucked free. On the other end, Hackman comes up with it. Boone swings it inside. No dunk. He's hanging on the rim as well. And so it'll be Vandy ball. They had a chance for a slam in transition. Couldn't get it.
Man, how fast has Western Kentucky been offensively? A little slower pace here in Atlantis on the outside.
From one paradise to another, here's the championship today in Maui.
Wow.
USC and Arizona State. Jay Billis with his surfboard. We'll have that with Dan Schulman. This is the way Jay Bill travels, man. A 6'8" dude walking through an airport with a surfboard. I don't know why that would attract any attention, but he gets a lot of it.
Well, in the States, in the 48 contingents, he walks around with an ironing board. So when you go to Maui, he takes the surfboard instead. But that tournament still as entertaining as we have in Feast Week.
Always a classic. Well, here we are getting the battle for Atlantis and the Bahamas underway, and Vandy on top of Western Kentucky. Vandy 10 points in the paint. Western Kentucky able to hang right with them pace-wise. Can they do that for 40 minutes today? 5 fast break points in the early going for the Hilltoppers.
Well, Western Kentucky has to tighten up their handle of the basketball. They already have 5 turnovers. They come in only averaging 9. Back off, he'll shoot that.
McLaughlin short. A collision, and the rebound will be picked off by Cato. Wow. On the attack, looking for the slam. It's Boone, no foul. He wanted a whistle there. Did not get one. I think they made the right no call. On the kick out. Myers, no. Again, if you're just tuning in, Vandy scoring 103 points a game. Miles with a quick trigger, and he'll bury that from the corner.
One of the first transition breakdowns by Western Kentucky in the game defensively. No one found that corner-filled 3, and Vanderbilt makes him pay.
Vandy on an 8-0 run, and the strip indeed by Miles. And a whistle as well, with 10:58 to go in the first half. Foul on Hackman is first. The attempted dunk.
Yeah, this freshman out of Lexington is going to have a heck of a career for Western Kentucky. He comes in with no fear. He went right at that rim strong with 2 hands. And there's the mistake I'm talking about. Vanderbilt, like many teams in college ball, they flood that floor with those deep 3 runners and put pressure on you instantly.
Vandy, a team certainly that will hit the 3 and take a lot of them. And another wild feed there on a play by Tanner. Trying to hit big 6'8" Devin McLaughlin on a cut.
Yep. Both teams have been sped up a little bit in this game. Now, they want to play fast, but a little too careless with the ball. Interesting, OB, that the team in red, 25% of their points so far this season come within the first 5 seconds of the possession. I mean, that is a breakneck pace that the team in red has played with to start this year.
All well and good, but they're also 1 for their last 8.
Yeah.
However, quickly they get the shot in the air. Murdoch slams on the brakes. Tegan Moore trying to slice in. No. It'll trigger the break. Very quickly to the opposite end of the floor. Here comes Nichols' shot. Got a good look, but a whistle on the deck here. And that'll go the other way. That'll be against Vandy. Nickel, a 47% three-point man. Got the three-pointer from the wing, could not nail it. McLaughlin just picked up his 2nd foul for the Commodores.
And I said again, that's the most important guy in my eyes for Vanderbilt this year because of everything that he does. Yeah, Tyler Nickler, you mentioned his name. He's one of the best returning shooters in college ball this year.
Boone again, airborne, kind of a wild-looking shot. Here's Nickel to pull up and pop. Got it, that is his baby. The pressure that Vanderbilt puts on you, man. Their conversion offense is lightning fast. Again, a team that leads the country in scoring. They are so good. Multiple guys can pull and jack from 3 in transition.
Obi, I know it's early, small sample size, but Vanderbilt has the number 6th offensive efficiency team in the country through the first 3 weeks. They move the ball well, they pass the ball well, it doesn't get stuck, and they can really shoot the ball. And the game with the deep corner 3 or the transition 3s that they've knocked down already a couple of times, they put a lot of pressure. They put the ball on the defense early, and it's hard to guard.
Mark Byington with 5 transfers. He's so impressed with how they have gelled as quickly as they have this season. Silabonge tucked that shoulder, missed the shot. Gets it back, fighting hard underneath for 2.
Yeah, Silabonge just quicker, right? Quicker than Mason Nicholson at 6'10", 288. Nicholson, 50 in black, threw up a pretty good wall to start with, but couldn't get there on the 2nd jump.
Brian Silabonge, his 4th stop in 4 years. Also Tulsa, Arizona State, McNeese State, now Western Kentucky. Such is the modern college athlete. Nice move there, slithering inside, Chandler Bing.
He is strong as an ox, Chandler Bing, and Mark Byington couldn't stop talking about that young man yesterday. Just natural raw.
Oh my goodness! Wow! Mellow Boone airborne, and a one-hand slam.
Mellow Boone, and to your point, Mellow Boone. What an athlete that Hank Plona has found out of Lexington, Kentucky. Wow.
Sensational. Bing has it taken away, and the theft by Grant Newell. 5 turnovers now for Vandy. The rapid pace continues. Back to this dunk, a showpiece.
Boone is a dog in the right way. DAWG. This guy is a first-year true freshman that is absolutely fearless. And Hank Plona wasn't sure he's going to get any minutes to start with, but from day one, this guy just, his heart, his Valentine has got him a lot of major minutes and is backed up with an explosive body. Good gracious.
We have renamed him Air Mellow Boone. With plays like that up around the iron, the quick inbounds, and that one will go. Out of the corner, Hafner, but they'll get a second opportunity. Salabanga has it knocked away. Quick hands of Vandy. Nickel in the open floor.
Yeah, opened his shoulders, showed the ball to the defender around the rim. That's a turnover waiting to happen.
Miles looking to penetrate. Scoops it up there. No. The Hilltoppers trying to cut into a 4-point deficit. More. Ouch. Yes, you got a man down here. Newell writhing in pain a bit. Grant Newell, the 6'9" senior from Chicago. And he's going to need some attention as the officials stop play here with 8 minutes to go in the first half in this very first game in the battle for Atlantis. Now Vandy up by 4. Western Kentucky's Grant Newell, the 6'9" senior, limping there. And now coming off the floor, he came up off the deck, went over to the huddle, and now he's going to get some more attention.
Yeah, watch that left foot right there just kind of roll out. Kind of got engaged with Chandler Bing's foot, but it's good news to see him up and over, probably get retaped, and about the best news you could hope for if you're Western Kentucky. He's an important guy, is Grant Newell. Averaging 15 points in just 21 minutes. What they do need from him going forward is more on the glass. He only gets 3 rebounds on a Western Kentucky team that's not overly big.
Now look at the turnovers. Both of these teams very stingy typically in that category. Among the best in the country, actually. Long jumper, that won't drop. Vandy up ahead to Duke. Miles wants to go right to the rim and scoops up 2.
And the degree of difficulty, he should get an extra.
Give him 10 in the early going. Murdoch's to penetrate. Trying to scoop of his own and a dandy.
I see your degree of difficulty, and I'll raise you one, right? By Murdoch, this kid just wins. Has battled knee injuries. You see him playing with that brace on, but not a big-time scorer from 3. Just a winning point guard. Does a lot of tough plays.
Nicholson will kick it back out. Mason Nicholson getting into the fray. Swished in. Right on target by Frankie Collins. Gets about 10 points a game. A vital guy for the Commodore attack. Has them up by 7. Murdoch's again. Denied this time. Bing all over him. More shot. A rare miss for him here in the first half.
Western Kentucky could do worse things than to slow down just a little bit. Their coach said they played way too fast last year, and they're playing offense, the team in red, with their hair on fire, and sometimes in this game, and that's not a good thing.
Murdoch's the cut for more. He will lay that up and in. He just kept on trucking.
No doubt. Winning player Murdoch's very patient, surveys what's going on in front of him. And Moore is such a good hard driver and a hard, violent cutter. Talking about 30 in red.
Collins straight on, nothing there. Out it goes, back over to Western Kentucky.
That's what I'm talking about, the degree of difficulty, the wraparound play by Miles, and then right back at you. Murdoch's get to the opposite side of the rim as well. Back-to-back plays, tough plays by 2 downhill driving guards.
So the Hilltoppers to check it in. Sticking right with the number 24 team in the country. And a chance to get a little bit closer here as you look at the top scorers so far. Miles with 10. Sagan Moore with 11. He's the top scorer on the floor anyway at 18 a game, and another turnover. And it's going to be number 8.
Oh, but you got to get into your offense. That was a lazy pass against pressure defense. Burn that pressure off, cut it back, and get that ball moving on your offensive end.
Okereke off a nice fake with lift. Well, he did everything he wanted to do there, just didn't hit the shot.
Good gang rebounding by Western Kentucky on the miss. Watch out.
Back in the paint, but again, not this time.
He's had 2 of the greatest misses in college ball so far this year.
And a spectacular make, but yeah, 2 misses that are going to make the lowlights. And a whistle here with 5.5 to go in the first half.
Man, this kid, Boone, has come to play. He's going right at Vanderbilt. Just comes up a little bit short. I understand what that feels like, trying to dunk back in high school, but good gracious.
Ryan Myers with the foul. Well, they're not able to guard him. He's missed 2 of them spectacularly, but he's getting right through them when he wants to.
And he gets up as high as Mackay and Brewster, my 2 Dolphin buddies.
Yes.
Who can jump as high as 20 feet in the air.
Telling you, we're going to see more of that here in the Bahamas. I can't wait. It's one of the thrills of coming here as you interact with the wildlife.
Yeah, Mackay and Brewster having a watch party, waiting to see themselves as well. I love this kid.
Harris.
Yeah, Tyler Harris, a transfer from Washington. He does a little bit of everything for them. An awkward shot. The ball starts on the left side, finishes on the right side, but he's money with it.
33-25. And again, the Hilltoppers sloppy with the basketball. Harris again. Short this time. They follow the miss. Here's Tanner from the wing. An open look and another foul on the floor. So 4:56 to go in half number 1, game number 1 in the Bahamas. Let's see if Newell is coming back on the floor. Had to step aside because of that ankle. No, he's still in pain. And he's actually headed for the locker room right now. So that's a big loss for Western Kentucky. Any length of time he's out. Let's see if he can even return today. Off the inbounds, Washington fouled. Taylor reaching in, trying to prevent an easy lay-in, and he commits the personal, his second.
When you look at Vanderbilt, when I do, big picture, like where are they going to finish in the SEC? How deep of a run can they make in that NCAA tournament? I think big picture-wise, this kid, Washington, and A.K. Okereke are probably going to determine the ceiling for Vanderbilt this year, because their guard play is what it is. It's tremendous, and they can play with anybody. That inside game has got to be better this year for Vanderbilt. They got exposed a little bit last year by lack of strength and length on the inside. Washington should help that.
6'10". Byington bringing him to Vanderbilt from North Carolina. He played with Tyler Nickel at Carolina as a freshman, and Nickel recruited him to come to Nashville. Yeah, it's going to go the other way.
Mark told us by the time I got on the phone with him as a head coach, the deal was done. I mean, Tyler Nichols sold him on who we are and our culture and how we play. And boy, I know as being a former head coach, the best recruiters you have on your staff are your players. And really well done by Tyler Nichols selling him on what Mark Byington can do for you in your game.
So the call on the floor is Western Kentucky basketball. They're going to go to the monitor here.
If you use your challenge this early, you better be sure you win it. Because we saw one out in Maui that Seton Hall did not have a challenge because they didn't have a timeout left. And I think in close games, most coaches are going to try to save that challenge for the under 2-minute mark when they can check for out of bounds who it went off of.
So it's really interesting. You're right. Early on, several coaches, and you know, you're talking about out of league games right now. I wonder if that's going to change once you get inside your conference. But they're going to these challenges, and you get one. If you win it, you can maintain that challenge. But if not, you lose it for the rest of the game, and it might be very vital for you in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And it's that looked to be off the foot of red from that first replay that I've got my eyes on. But I mean, every staff, OB, for the most part, they will have iPad coaches behind the head coach. They're literally trying to look at those plays as fast as they can, saying, Coach, challenge it, don't challenge it. But man, at how critical it is. Like I said, we saw it in the Southern Cal Boise State game out in Maui. A clear miscall, but there was no timeout to be used.
We're checking to see if it hit 2 feet, and did it get the foot of Tyler Tanner as well?
I think the ball changes directions, angles off the foot of Tyler Tanner right there. And now it starts going a little bit more veered off to the right. It's clearly off red until this point. And I think Tyler Tanner, I think that ball changed a little bit off of left and black foot.
So Vandy up 33-25. That is going to be the case.
Yeah.
So the call is overturned. Vandy will have the basketball here, and they will maintain the challenge as well. New rule this year. So a successful challenge will chalk that one up for Coach Byington. And Vandy will have it here with 4:53 on the clock in the first half. So Tanner to put it in for Collins. Washington setting the screen. Harris. Shot clock to 7. Okereke back out for Tanner's shot. And again, the Hilltoppers sticking right with him. He gives up the dribble, the bounce speed for Hackman. L.J. Hackman, the junior, nearly lost it. Long possession here for Western Kentucky. That's unusual for them. Out of the corner, the jumper will rattle home by Hafner.
Western Kentucky goes with what they call bingo at the end, just 5 spread. Try to punch that paint and find a shooter in that corner. Really good late clock offense by the Hilltoppers on that last possession.
Tanner on the drive draws the foul. So he'll be shooting 2. And an outstanding foul shooter at 86%. As mentioned, he came to the Bahamas hitting absolutely everything. 52% from 3, 16 points a game, and almost 90% at the foul line. And knocks down number 1.
Tyler Tanner played safe last year as a freshman for Vanderbilt. Logged a lot of minutes. Didn't turn that ball over, but Mark Byington has told this young man at the free throw line, I can't have you playing safe anymore. You got to cut it loose and let it go. A lot of freedom that he's entrusted with his second-year guy.
Tanner making 1 of 2. 33-28, the Commodores. Silabonge up high. Hackman thought better of that drive. Shot clock inside 10. He wants to stop, pop, and left it well short. They'll get a second try. Hafner launching. Not waiting around. Misfire there.
Vanderbilt doing a better job of playing in the gaps, though, the last 6 or 7 minutes of this game. Tightening up those drive lanes. Taking them away.
Miles off the crossover. Off the back iron, though. Nice denied. On the move, Silabonge. Quick step to his right and draws the foul, and he'll be headed to the line. 3:03 to go in the first half. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's and by Marriott Bonvoy. guys. Thank you very much. Feast week rolling on. Vandy leading here in game 1 of the battle for Atlantis, 34-28 over Western Kentucky. Take a look at the shooting, Jimmy Early.
Well, not surprised. Vanderbilt, they come in making 13 threes per game. They've already made 5 now in this first half. They spread you out. They're an excellent passing team, which all good guys are. And multiple guys on that perimeter can knock them down. They put a lot of pressure on you to extend your defense. Once you do that, now the game's in the hands of guys like Miles and Tyler Tanner going downhill for those spray three-point looks.
And that came to Atlantis 39% from 3, overall 53% in their first 5 wins of the season. So really shooting the lights out. I'm all in on how aggressive Western Kentucky has played in this game. But again, they've played too fast offensively. Already 9 turnovers. That's how many they average on the year. Solabonge with the deflection, so Vandy will keep the possession. 2:52 left in the first half. Mark Plona, year number 2 at Western Kentucky. Early on, he was a grad assistant at Providence with our good buddy Tim Welsh. On the swing, here's Tanner. Stopped on the baseline. McLaughlin back to him. On the bounce speed, McLaughlin, heavy traffic there, and knocked out of play.
Good two-man game, though. A couple different looks out for Tyler Tanner and McLaughlin. You got your 2 potential all-SEC guys operating on one side of the floor together. Just a couple of ball screens, some flip action by McLaughlin, and he gets himself to the rim.
McLaughlin off the inbounds for 2, and a quick strike for the senior.
And you've got to protect that angle from the out-of-bounds guy to the front of the rim. You cannot allow that pass to be made.
And a couple of times, Vandy has threatened to break away. The Hilltoppers have stunted them. Solabonge cross court. Long one coming, and well short by Boone.
Not his strength yet. He's a ball fake, driving downhill dude.
McLaughlin bodied up on the baseline. He'll draw the foul. And stops the clock at 2:03. Watching McLaughlin play, the 6'8" senior, he gets up and down the floor, and several times Western Kentucky has just flat lost him. Here in the first half, he'll be shooting a 1-and-1 here.
Yeah, Obi, it's good analysis by you, because McLaughlin's a potential all-SEC guy. He's only 6'8". He played the 5 position last year for Vanderbilt last year and can slide back between the 5 and the 4. He's such a mismatch because he's explosive, he's tough, he's got a good handle, strong paws as a rebounder. Kind of guys you win with, right?
He was number 3 in the SEC last year in offensive rebounding. And as mentioned, 6'8", so really gets after it on the glass. He dropped down the first one. He makes the pair. This is the largest lead here in the first half for Vanderbilt.
But he gets some help this year. You see Washington checking in at 6'10". McLaughlin did not have that backup size behind him. So Mark Byington in year 2 has built his roster to make a deeper run, not only in the SEC, but potentially in March.
So the Commodores by 10. Western Kentucky with the ball. Tegan Moore with a pull-up pop, banks it in. Very mature-looking shot.
That is strong on strong, but older strong beat younger strong. How good is he, man, playing off angles and through your chest as an offensive player.
Miles, wild shot, and it almost went in. Clanged around the rim and dropped out. More on the freshman Bing. Out of the double. Murdoch's tiptoeing his way in. The pass deflected back. Underneath, too far. Solabonge, a second shot, no. A third, no. Washington was all over the basket. And another whistle here with 1:11 to go in the half.
Really good want-to, though, by Solabonge. Just couldn't finish it off. But, man, that dude battling. I mean, both these teams have played extremely hard, as you would expect. The first 20 minutes are on the island.
And Murdoch's with his 3rd foul to Western Kentucky, so he will sit. So that's 9 points a game. He's in foul trouble. Grant Newell with 15 points a game, turned an ankle. and has missed a huge chunk of the half. So a lot of scoring missing all of a sudden for Western Kentucky. Washington at the line. And the 9th player to score for Vandy. 9 different guys in the first half already.
Well, Jalen Washington wasn't much of a factor. 93 career games at North Carolina. I think he's like a 4.3 rebound guy. So he's starting to find his groove a little bit. He looks to me more confident at Vanderbilt than he ever did at North Carolina.
I agree.
I think it's a really big deal.
I agree with you. Saw a lot of them there in the ACC in North Carolina. This is a different looking guy. Like he has more freedom or something. Out of the corner. And swished in. It's once again Tegan Moore.
That was a big shot right before the half.
40-33.
Some shots mean more than others, and that might be one of them for Western Kentucky.
Bang off the feed. Out it goes. Back over to the Hilltoppers.
David, it was a 10-point game, and Hafner just lights up Vanderbilt from that far right corner where they've gotten a lot of good looks, and now it goes from a 10-point game to a potential 5-point game. Close out this first half.
So down to 7. Washington to the bench for Vandy. And Moore gets it in.
I would want to keep the ball in this guy's hands, right? You can at least get fouled.
Yeah, Bing will do exactly that.
Bad foul by Bing, man. Not what, 75 feet from the rim.
Chandler Bing, who, by the way, never in his life watched a single episode of Friends. He's named after his grandfather.
And he's never seen Friends.
Not after the famous character played by Matthew Perry in Friends. Never saw a single episode in his life. So it'll be Moore at the line, 82%. With 34 seconds to go. It's 13 here in the first half. And we'll add to that.
Maybe you saw those numbers. That's what Western Kentucky does. Again, they've made some threes in this game. They only average 5 per game. But Nick Plona he's a tough, hard-nosed coach, and his guys play the same way. They are downhill, driving, body blow team offensively. And as a result, they are right in this game against the top 24 team, Vanderbilt.
And a timeout. Vandy takes one here with 30 seconds to go. And Vandy with a 5-point lead over Western Kentucky in our very first game here in the Battle for Atlantis.
It's the ACC SEC Challenge. It's always a special thing.
We got to put on the show.
Oh, my goodness.
The Cameron Crazies, expect them to be loud.
That week has college basketball's attention.
It's going to be way different this year. Let's go, man. Anyway. ACC, man, it just means more.
Teams who went to the NCAA tournament out of the SEC last year, 1 of 14. Look at the teams in the poll with Florida at the very top. Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, Arkansas, Auburn, Missouri, Ole Miss, Texas, and Mississippi State in the top 10 before you get to Vandy in the preseason. 11 is way too low for them.
No doubt. And last year, the SEC owned that challenge against the ACC. I think it's going to be a lot more even this year. The ACC is on the uprise with some of the hires they've made and talent like Ken Bruiser and Caleb Wilson at North Carolina. Star watch.
Yep, and Florida, the reigning champions, national champs.
They got to go.
Miles with 2 to get off a shot. Trying to spin inside as it's stripped. A scramble for it as time expired.
Vanderbilt took too much time to get into that play. I know you're trying to take the last shot or as close as you can, but they were just all balled up. And again, I credit Western Kentucky's ability, OB, to stay in front of the ball and guard their yard. They've done it several times in this first half to perfection.
So set at 3.2 seconds.
How big would this be? They were down 10 with right at a minute to go in this first half. Gotta go, Boone.
It's Boone to midcourt around the back. Heaves it up and can't hit it. That's how the first half comes to an end with Vandy leading Western Kentucky by 5. A bunch of times Vandy looked like they were going to put that pedal to the metal, and Western Kentucky kept them right there.
No doubt, a couple of fist fights going on right now. Western Kentucky giving the team out of the SEC all they want. Good first half, a little fast.
Now looking forward to a very entertaining second half in game number 1. We are just getting started here in the Bahamas. 3 great days here in the battle for Atlantis. Halftime here in the Bahamas.
Vanderbilt's one of the top 5 offenses in all of college basketball. They only turn it over on 10% of their possessions. Man, they are fun to watch. They're hard to guard, but they're a great passing team, is why they don't turn it over much. Like Canella, like you, a great passer. Yes, that's a great pass, Canella. Well done. Well done.
Feast Week presented by Lowe's. You're watching the Marriott Bonvoy men's battle for Atlantis. Getting set as we get down the Lazy River for half number 2. Vandy up by 5. 40-35 over Western Kentucky. Vandy with a strong first half passing the ball. They have 9 assists so far. And Jimmy Dykes enlisted some help here on Paradise Island, explaining the Vandy attack.
Canella, Vanderbilt's one of the top 5 offenses in all of college basketball. They only turn it over on 10% of their possessions. Man, they are fun to watch. They're hard to guard, but they're a great passing team, is why they don't turn it over much. Like Canella, like you, a great passer. Yes, that's a great pass, Canella. Well done. Well done.
I loved how dismissive that was. It was just kick that sucker right out of bounds. You've got a magical way with the animals. You really do.
Canella's more of a low block player, just to be honest about her. She's 6 feet, and they say 208 on a good day. I don't know about that, but what I do like about Vanderbilt, now they have been sped up a little bit in this game. They have uncharacteristically 7 turnovers, but good shooting teams are good passing teams, and that's typically what Vanderbilt is. I think Mark Meinton has probably told his guys at halftime, we've got to slow down just a little bit. Hank Plona maybe told his guys the same way, because the turnovers have been higher than normal for 2 teams that are so good taking care of that basketball.
Those first half stats brought to you by Marriott Bonvoy. Vandy 9 different players having scored. Miles with 10 points, Moore with 15. You mentioned Hampton with that big shot in the closing minutes of the first half, closing seconds. Western Kentucky hanging close out of the corner, and it's McLaughlin with the first miss.
Good job by Tanner, though, to grab the paint to start this second half for Vanderbilt.
Again, Moore handling the ball now up high. The sophomore out of Dry Ridge, Kentucky. Big first half. He'll draw the foul. He's going to get a whole lot of attention here in the second half for sure from the Vandy defense. And that foul will go against Tyler Tanner, number 2.
Vanderbilt has to defend without fouling in this second half. That's how Western Kentucky is going to stay in this game.
Off the inbounds, Hampton with a miss. And a tussle for the rebound. Possession arrow keeps it right on this end. Western Kentucky trailing by 5, trying to stay perfect on the year. They're 4-0. Vandy at 5-0. Look at Moore and Hafner, 24 points. Everybody else a total of 11. Will they find at least one more score? Well, they've already lost Grand Duel, 15 points a game. Leaning in and blocked away. Good deflection. That's going to roll on out of bounds, and that's going to be Vandy basketball.
That play describes A.K. Okereke as a defender. A middle linebacker that says, you're going to have to go through my chest to score, and my chest is bigger than yours. And terrific job of keeping his feet on the ground, not taking that shot fake.
We talked about him as just a regular student on campus at Cornell, walking around at 6'7", and some of the other basketball players like, hey, there's this big guy walking around. Does he want to play basketball? They brought him on. Not a walk-on per se. In the paint, trying to get free here. Long one for Miles, and he'll bury that.
Plona saying that was 3 seconds. Once that offensive player stops trying to make a move to the basket, that 3-second count should be on. He may have had a pretty good discussion about it.
Tied up, that spits free. Vandy wins the turnover. Miles again. Here's Nickel. Miles trying to jump in between two Hilltoppers. 18-17 to go. We were talking about Okereke, just 3 years it took him to get through Cornell. Originally he was a team manager. Then they put him on the team after an August tryout. He rose to be a captain at Cornell. It's a terrific story.
It goes from just a normal student, whatever that is, at Cornell. Those guys aren't normal. They're actually high Ivy League kids to a starter in the SEC. Just one of the great stories in college ball this year for us to follow.
And averaging 12 points a game for Vanderbilt. Foul on Ryan Myers. That'll be number 2. Tanner will head to the line here, 86%.
So think of the value of this kid. Tyler Tanner last year was the only player in the country that had over 50 assists, over 50 steals, and fewer than 15 turnovers. I think he's really, really good. One of the better point guards in the SEC this year. And Mark Byington says he is literally the nicest guy on the planet. That's a lot of people to be number 1 on that list.
That sure is. And he opened last season with 320 turnover-free minutes.
That's amazing, isn't it? I believe his dad set the all-time career steals record in the old Southwest Conference.
Yeah, both his mom and dad played at Rice. Yeah. Hafner to penetrate. Nice look away. And now roll in. And a foul too.
That is really big, not only for the and one, but for Hafner to show, you come out in my airspace and take away my 3, I can do something off the bounce.
Yeah,
a really good job by
right.
Hafner. Kind of a NASCAR cut. He's turning to his right when he gets the ball. But pretty good elevation, takes a hit. More than the 3-point shooter, Cam Hafner.
Senior transfer from Evansville. Foul went on McLaughlin, which is his 3rd incidentally, so that's trouble for Vandy.
But Obi, if you are Vanderbilt, you continue to make Hafner make plays like that because you know he's a lights-out shooter.
Western Kentucky continues to answer throughout game 1. McLaughlin launching, way too strong. Here comes Western Kentucky with a full head of steam. And again, the youngster Boone down the lane will draw the foul. He's just a step quick for everybody on the floor.
No doubt he is. I would not encourage anyone playing Boone this year to come out on the floor and try to take him on at the 30-foot mark. And that's what Tyler Tanner did. And that's just a blow-by for the freshman out of Lexington that this Western Kentucky staff has fallen in love with. Steals, deflections, rebound, rim attacks, gets himself to the line. He fits what Mark Plona wants to be in terms of a guy that will hit you first and hit you last.
So Boone to shoot again. He's already won 2 consecutive Conference USA Freshman of the Week awards. He has 7 points. He also has the signature dunk of game 1 of the tournament. Miles, nifty fake. McLaughlin downstairs. Miles with a really heavy pass to him.
No doubt again, they are a very good passing team, Vanderbilt. McLaughlin that time scored before he caught it with great deep position inside that restricted arc.
Moore gives it up. The floater by Hafner left that way short. And now numbers here. And the bounce, and that'll go out of play. So Vandy, they hardly ever turn it over, just 7.6 a game, but they did that time. They have 8. Look at our bracket now. Underway here in the second half of game number 1. Still to come. VCU in South Florida. Later on tonight, Virginia Tech and Colorado State, St. Mary's and Wichita State. That's this evening at 7:30. Corey Alexander, Kevin Brown will have the night shift here in the Bahamas.
St. Mary's is loaded once again. I believe what 4 straight NCAAs. Randy Bennett is as good a coach as there is. Believes 1,000% in how they're supposed to build their program and win.
No basket there and a travel.
You agree with me though, right? St. Mary's, they look the real deal now on film, yesterday in person.
Yep.
That's a top 25 team waiting to happen just right now, just outside the top 25, right?
Randy always has a good team. Always has a top 25 team. A team that can win the West Coast Conference, often does.
Yeah.
There with Gonzaga, of course, an amazing rivalry. That great Australian pipeline, but he's playing a slightly different style. It's really working. He's a great coach.
Obi, to your point, Vanderbilt they can't put Western Kentucky away. They get a little separation and then it tightens down.
Down to 7 here. Hilltoppers with the ball. Silabonge with the handoff. Backman back to the 6'8" grab. Shot clock a factor, down to 5. Hafner fires it up, no. Vandy looking for that breakaway they can sustain. It does not happen. Miles with the bounce speed, and out it goes. And tapped out of play with 15:38 to go the other way. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's and by Atlantis, Paradise Island, Bahamas, the discovery of a lifetime. Degrees here in the Bahamas, lots of sunshine. Sorry if that's not the case wherever you're watching, but gorgeous here. Time for a look at our play of the game. It's brought to you by Lodge Cast Iron, the freshman Armello Boone in the first half.
Yeah, well, a gorgeous play by Armello Boone. That is what you would call a violent cut and a vicious finish by the freshman from Lexington, Kentucky. Now, he's only made 1 shot in this game. He's 1 for 6. But he has gone right at the glass and right at Vanderbilt and got himself to the free throw line 6 times. And I think Plona has found himself a good one in that freshman class.
Started Woodland County High in Kentucky, averaged 21 points a game as a senior. And at the college level, he does not look like he lacks for confidence. 14 points against Eastern Kentucky right away. They knew they had a good one. So Vandy on top 47-40. Hilltoppers with the ball. Murdoch gives it up from Myers. Trying to slice inside. Went to the left hand. Couldn't convert it. Vandy comes away looking to push the tempo. Washington. Okereke taking some contact. Fighting. Shot clock down to 12. Here's Okereke up high. Got a really good look. Knocked that one away. Went sprawling, but he couldn't save it. Moore pressing it. Clangs away by Myers. Ugly looking shot for the grab. Over the top. Try to get Washington free for a slam, but it's knocked away by Western Kentucky.
You can never throw that lob pass low, and that's exactly what happened on that play. I mean, Washington's all of 6'10". He's a long guy that can go get it. I mean, get that thing up, throw it at the right corner of that square at the rim, and you can't go wrong.
Cada out. Silabonge on now for Western Kentucky. And Vandy to check it in on the baseline. Frankie Collins, the transfer from TCU, will check it in. And one of the better passers for Vandy. They got a lot of good passers. And Boone back on the floor. And Hackman off now for the Hilltoppers. And now the officials will have a quick conversation here.
They're going to challenge.
Yeah, going to take a look on this possession. Now, Vanderbilt has already won one today. And now Western Kentucky with a coach's challenge. And again, brand new this year. You get one. If you win it, you retain it. And we'll have more. Take a closer look when we come back here to the Bahamas. Kentucky, we have a coach's challenge by the Hilltoppers and Hank Flona on this play.
Well, it's off red at that point, and then it hits the out of bounds line to me. And there's the second touch, but I think the ball bounced on the line before Black touched it.
Getting an explanation here. The officials today: KB Burdett, Will Howard, and Jerry Heater. See if this touches on the floor. No, that's where it went out. Again, this one called on the floor. Vandy ball. The officials actually came over to our monitor. I think it's a great idea, actually, and got a better view of that play on our monitor.
Western Kentucky is going to lose the challenge and the timeout. Because to my point, the ball actually bounced on that out of bounds line, OB, before Black touched it for the second time. So they rule it out of bounds off of red. And then it hit the out of bounds line. At that point, play is dead. So Western Kentucky challenges, they lose a challenge and a timeout.
And again, I think for those of us watching, this new tool for coaches come to the fore this year, you're wondering, why not wait a little while? I know you're down 7. Maybe that makes more sense given the score. But wait a little deeper in the game? But you may never get a chance to use it.
Yeah, I think so, though. In a tight game, you have to know at the end of the 2-minute mark, I'm the only one, if I have a challenge, you can challenge that out-of-bounds call. And now Western Kentucky, similar position that Boise State found themselves in, I believe. A call was there. You don't have a timeout to use or a challenge to use for the rest of the game.
Shot clock here at 3. Miles has got to get it up in the air. Jacks it up, but it won't drop for him. Big fight for the rebound. The Hilltoppers come away with it. Tegan Moore, who's been their star. Can he carry them to an upset victory here in the first game of this tournament? Vandy ranked at number 24 in the poll that came out this week. Leaning in, can't spin it home.
Boy, guys are taking some tough shots in this game.
Yes. Collins stumbled a bit, got tied up, and now draws the foul. Mikey Collins going in strong. He's back from a broken foot he suffered against Vandy last year. He's playing for Texas Christian.
OB, you can see the offensive mentality go out of Vanderbilt. Within the first 10 seconds of every possession, they want to what they call grab the paint. Get that ball inside, force the defense to get into a rotation and be hyper-aggressive, converting from defense to offense. And Collins that time just forced the action, gets himself to the line.
To make it 48-40. And another one coming with a grad out of Sacramento, California. He has 6 points. Give him 7. Also been really good on the glass with 5 rebounds. 6'1" guard, and he's made it 49-40. And knocks it away. And the save. Got it free and a foul. Got the pass away to Tyler Harris. Terrific defense there by Collins.
A bulldog on the ball, right? Collins, Murdoch's is kind of playing with this thing, and you can't play with it against pressure. And he gets on that side, and a great job by Frankie Collins to take away any type of an angle. Just a rip and run. Gets Tyler Harris to the free throw line.
Well, he's usually very good, 82%. Terran Maddox picked up his 4th foul, so Hackman is on for him. Burks at 9 points a game, so second effort, but Bing lost it. Chandler Bing just gave it away to the freshman. Vandy by 9.
Well, Vanderbilt, yes, they will keep their full court pressure on. Mark Byington thinking this pressure bothering the Hilltoppers just a little bit.
Time and time again, Western Kentucky has responded to stay in this game. Can they do it again? Got it free. Shot clock now to 14. Leading in, and the shot won't drop. No basket on the follow either. Silabonge will draw the personal.
But it'll be back-to-back possessions that Vanderbilt's ball pressure has really disrupted Western Kentucky.
It's 4 fouls on Tyler Tanner. Key man for Vandy in trouble. 16 points a game. So he's going to take a seat for a while. Silabonge with a miss. And Duke Miles returns for the Commodores.
So you sit down Tyler Tanner with foul trouble through Mark Byington, and you bring in Miles, who actually leads your team in assists. So not a lot of drop-off in terms of that lead guard spot for Vanderbilt.
A couple of big misses. 9-point game. Miles very heady with that basketball. Collins. Miles for 3. No. Hafner looking up the floor. Hafner trying to get around the freshman. Another tough shot. The tip is up and in by Silabonge.
Good job by Silabonge to sprint the floor and get right in the front of the rim, expecting that transition attempt.
Bing trying to bounce his way inside. Miles will launch. Got it. A three-pointer.
That's what they do. They come in, Vanderbilt, making 13 three-point shots a game at 39%. You cannot give them dare threes.
Well, this matches Vandy's biggest lead today, up to 10. First game of the tournament here in the Bahamas at the Battle for Atlantis.
Can you burn this pressure off if you're Western Kentucky? Again, Vanderbilt hurting himself by defending without fouling is so big against the team in red. And watch Hafner right here. Just the crossover gets downhill, and then the seal off on the inside. Really well done by Bryant Silabonge. Not only sealing off a drive lane, but sealing off his own guy in case there's a miss.
Silabonge, the man from Montreal, will take a seat on the bench for the Hilltoppers. Myers way downtown. A lot of iron. It rolls off. And a tie-up. Possession arrow will keep it right here for Western Kentucky. But they have made only 2 of 13 three-pointers. As you mentioned, it's not their game.
No.
But now they're down by 10.
Makes it tough to fight your way back.
Well, another spectacular day in the Bahamas. We're coming to you from Paradise Island, game number 1 of the Battle for Atlantis. Back in Paradise Island, the Bahamas. Got about 12 minutes to go here in the second half. Vandy up by 10. Jimmy Dykes, Dave O'Brien with you. And, you know, the way the game has gone, editorially, it's really been a couple of spurts by Vandy. Back comes Western Kentucky. Now they have a key man out in Grant Newell, 15 points a game. He will not return with an ankle injury. It's going to be uphill.
Yeah, tough hill, uphill sledding right now for Western Kentucky. They have 2 guys, Hafner and Moore, that are getting double figures in this game. Not a lot of offense outside of 3 and 30. So if you're Hank Plonek, can you get those guys open down the stretch right now? If you're Vanderbilt, I like what they've done. Mark Byington has turned up the pressure in his full court and his half court defense. Seems to have disrupted Western Kentucky just a little bit the last few minutes.
Hafner with the bounce. Back for Myers. The 3 won't drop for him. Vandy trying to expand on the lead. And Collins will set it up now for Mark Byington and number 24 Vanderbilt. Collins on the baseline, gives up the dribble. Here's Nickel. So dangerous from three-point land. Miles Miles with the swing. Collins off the bump. They'll draw the foul. 11-16. That's going to be an offensive foul. Excuse me. Offensive foul here on Collins.
Good job by Jack Elam to keep his feet moving, man, and draw that foul. Hank Plona has played 14 guys in this game.
Trying to keep pace with one of the highest powered offenses in college basketball, at least through 5 games. Vandy at 103 points a contest. After giving it up for Murdix. Tegan Moore around the back. A little too fancy, gave it away. Miles did a good job, smart job taking it out. Now back inside. Another loose basketball and another one tossed away.
Man, both teams just need to take a breath. They've played so fast in this game.
Abner jumping into a long one, but that didn't touch anything. Miles, quick step, draws the foul. Duke Miles will shoot. The transfer from Oklahoma. He played for the Sooners on this floor last year when they won the whole thing in the Bahamas, knocking off Louisville in the championship game.
Obi Vanderbilt, they get you because they are a threat from 3. They come in making 13 a game, right at 40% as a team. That shot fake and attacking closeouts is a big, big part of Vanderbilt's offense, and will be all year long, because you have to get out and chase them off the 3. And once you get into that part of the game, these guards now get downhill, especially Tyler Tanner and this kid Duke Miles.
Miles bounced around. He's been to Troy, High Point, Oklahoma, and now Vanderbilt in his college career. He came in at 15 points a game, and he's bumped the lead to 54-42.
Mark Mikan stays with his full court pickup right now. Just trying to bottom that basketball, knock Western Kentucky out of any kind of rhythm.
Myers against Miles, and a whistle with 10:05 to play. And it's been a different second half than first half, certainly for Tegan Moore. Top scorer for Western Kentucky, who had a big first 20 minutes. But they have buckled down on him in the second half.
Well, one of the keys for Vanderbilt to close this game out is Western Kentucky now is going to be in the bonus the last 10 minutes of this game. Vanderbilt has got to defend without fouling. I've said it multiple times. I'm sure Mark's saying the same thing in every timeout. Defend these dudes without fouling. Don't try to block their bad twos and tough twos that they're taking, and we're going to be in good shape. But the free throw number continues to be an advantage of the team in red.
It's going to roll out of play. It's going to be off of Vanderbilt. So off the missed foul shot, another chance here for Western Kentucky to cut in. Hilltoppers, though, 0 for 6 in the second half from 3-point distance. Certainly not their forte, and they're showing that in the second half of this quarterfinal. Off the inbound, Moore leaning inside, no. Collins finds Miles. Three-pointer won't drop for him. Loose ball on the baseline, on the line. With 9:48 to go.
Boy, all gas, no brakes for Vanderbilt. They got an 11-point lead on a neutral floor, but they're not going to change who they are. They're not dating how they play the game. They are married to how they play it. And they come down in that first 10 seconds, and they are a hungry offensive team.
Collins on the inbounds. Cherokee back into the contest. And a whistle here well before the shot. After the collision, McLaughlin hitting the deck. So a foul here against Western Kentucky. They'll go against Boone. And coming up, Marriott Rivalry Week. The Ole Miss and Mississippi State, Georgia, Georgia Tech, Texas A&M, and Texas coming up on Friday. ABC and ESPN. They've got a technical here against Western Kentucky. And after the collision where they were called with a foul, and the freshman Armello Boone and Hank Plona upset. Now the officials are going to the monitor.
Well, KB Burdett, the middle official right now, that headset on, did all he could to not call a technical on Hank Plona. He told him to get back several times, gave him some opportunities, and Hank would not back down at all. And finally, KB had to stick him. Hank Plona, I think he's upset over the last call, feeling like the off-ball collision. He felt like McLaughlin maybe sending a moving screen, and Boone gets called for running right through 99 in black, and the call goes against Western Kentucky.
And now the technical on Hank Plona, second-year head coach for Western Kentucky.
I don't know if Hank felt like maybe there's something there that could escalate to a flagrant one, but he was all over these officials about taking a look at the monitor for something. And remember, he doesn't have a challenge to use, so he's appealing something right now in this game.
I'll give you another look at the collision again off the ball here, as Nickel was attempting to line up a long one.
Going to resume where we were. They looked at it, didn't see anything but a common foul. Hank Plona saw it differently, but a tee for the coach, and we resume play from there.
So it'll be Miles at the stripe, 74% for the grad from Montgomery, Alabama. So this could be a big turn of events. He's had really a fine day with 19 points. Going to get that to 20.
That would be the value of guards in the portal that have played in winning programs. He was with Oklahoma last year. They won the battle for Atlantis. Porter Moser got his guys in the NCAA tournament. Those high-value older guards from winning programs. You know what you're getting. You know what you're getting from Duke Miles.
Collins inbounds for Nickel. Nickel finding the paint. McLaughlin lines it up. Can't stick it. Western Kentucky really would have felt that if that one got down. As it is, a 13-point disadvantage for the Hilltoppers. Out of the corner, Myers. Rebound batted away, and bandy ball.
So hard to make you come back. You can't knock down threes. It's just not what Western Kentucky does right now. They come in making 5. Because Moore did a good job of making the defenders converge on that basketball and just miss those open threes. It's a tough comeback offense when you're relying on twos and getting to that free throw line.
A chance to really put a hammer down. Collins swings the pass. McLaughlin with the finish.
Again, we talked about in the first half, and Canelo, the C-Ryan, has backed it up as well. They are a very good passing team.
C-Line that only Jimmy Dykes can speak to. It's a magical thing to watch. He is Dr. Doolittle here in the Bahamas. He's legendary. He's known for it all over the island.
They're having a watch party over at Dolphin Cave.
Boone trying to bring him back here. Very exciting freshman. Been an interesting day. Double fake, lifts the three. No. And a foul here against the Hilltoppers with 8:40 to go.
Ball movement of Vanderbilt is starting to look like what they've been coming into the island. They throw strikes, they move people, and they move the ball. It's nothing complicated about it. They understand spacing. We talked to Mark Byington yesterday. How do you play so fast with low turnovers? The first thing he said was, it's our spacing. Yeah, they understand it beautifully. The guys don't get stuck on the floor, and the ball doesn't get stuck in the air.
So send Nickel to the line for a 1-and-1. Myers picking up his third foul. Senior from Virginia. Right now, Western Kentucky badly needs the man with the basketball. He gives it up for Haffner. Got it! A three-pointer. That has been such a rarity, but he has 15 points.
Well, that's the one guy, if you're Vanderbilt, you just absolutely cannot come off of at all in this game. Haffner.
Boy, beautifully run. Back to McLaughlin, who has answered time and time again.
McLaughlin, he is so good in those ball screen actions, two-man games. Dave, because 99 in black, he's quick into the screen, and he's quick out of the screen.
And they keep losing him, too.
Yeah.
Trying to negotiate his way inside. He'll draw the foul. Just under 8 minutes to go. Does Western Kentucky have a run in them in the Bahamas?
If there is one for Western Kentucky, there's going to be three-point shooting. And you're going to watch Duke Miles. Stop right there, guys. He's the defender. He is the defender right here, assigned to a shooter who's going to drift up the floor. And you've got to get on top of that shooter. That's the comeback offense ability they have. And Duke Miles gets a little attracted to the roll guy for no reason. He was covered up. You've got to know 3 in red is the guy we cannot let get loose the remaining 8 minutes of this ball game. I expect Mark Byington just said something very similar to his team defense.
Darian Murdoch, the grad out of Illinois, at the line. One of 14 Western Kentucky Hilltoppers who have played in this game. And drops in number 1. He's 79% at the line. He has 5 points today.
Obi, a lot of coaches will say top block those shooters right now. Make them do something other than coming up the floor and getting free looks. Make them back cut. 2s don't hurt us. 3s do, especially with Hafner, who shot the ball so well. 4 out of 9 from the three-point line for the Hilltoppers today.
Some pressure. And broken on the bounce feed to Tanner. Collins will swing it. Off in the corner. And a 3 knocked down by Tyler Tanner.
If you're Hank Plona, though, you got to do something to change the game and go to the full court pressure. The problem with pressing a good shooting team, that ball gets hot on the back end of the press. Wide open 3s are taken.
Vandy, their biggest lead today. Trying to pound his way inside. A strong move by Hackman will draw the whistle.
Let's go back to this ball movement, breaking the press. They bring that thing down, they get a swing action, and you're just chasing instead of defending at that point if you're Western Kentucky.
Hilltoppers at the line. Hackman makes 71%. Former junior college star, originally out of Columbus, Missouri.
I love what Hank Plona said to me about this kid. He said he just works. The game is very important to him, and coaches watching right now understand exactly what I said. You want a team full of guys like that, but certainly you got to have a couple that ball is the most important thing in their life.
Across for Tanner. Up over the top. Had an opportunity for a slam there. Washington had it off his fingertip.
It was there, right?
Nickel quickly to the other end with the theft. These two clubs came in as two of the stingiest in America as far as turnovers are concerned. 15 for Western Kentucky, 13 for Vandy today. Pace at times has been blazing. On the drive, laid up and in by Murdoch, and a timeout by Hank Plona of Western Kentucky. 6:41 to go. His team down 13.
2 things Mark Byington should be telling his guys in his huddle. Quit turning the ball over and defend without fouling. The third thing would be stay on top of Hafner. Those 3 things right now, this game's over. Don't turn the ball over. Keep them off the free throw line, and don't let 3 get 3s. And if you're Hank Plona, man, you just continue to turn the pressure up, try to disrupt this game, and make it as chaotic as you can the last 6:41, and see if Vanderbilt takes the bite.
So 13-point deficit for Western Kentucky. Game number 1. As we get the battle for Atlantis underway, get a chance to see St. Mary's later on tonight as they take on Wichita State. That'll be part of our night session here. And we'll have double headers for 3 consecutive days. The championship game coming up on Friday. And as you give a look at our bracket, the semifinals are on Thursday at noon and 2:30. Coming up next, we've got VCU in South Florida. Later on, Virginia Tech. That's going to be a fun team to watch, taking on Colorado State.
Yeah, Neil Abdallah is a 6'9" point guard for Virginia Tech this year. A Virginia Tech team that is much improved, as is the entire ACC.
Hokies, one of the best teams in the country, hanging on to the ball. Another quick strike underneath to the big guy, McLaughlin.
Well done by Mark Byington to come out of the timeout and say, we're going to get this thing around the rim, a high percentage look, and increase our lead.
18 for him. Out high, Boone. Got it. That's one they desperately needed, Jimmy.
Yes, but you live with that if you're Vanderbilt. Boone has not proven at all that he can make threes. Tap him on the backside and play on.
Yeah, Hafner 4 for 9 from 3. McLaughlin, no. Tapped out right to Hafner. The rest of the team, 2 out of 13 for Western Kentucky.
Well, you know, Boone wants to get downhill, trying to work off of a ball screen.
Boone gives it away. On the dribble, here's Collins. And Collins harassed. 5:34 to go. Lost that one. He gives it right back.
OB, to me, there was a lot of contact on the shooter after the ball was released. You've got to protect those shooters. I think that's what Mark Byington's in the year of the official bout on the baseline. I know the shot gets blocked, but you come in from behind and come down hard on a guy that's still in the air. If I was Mark Byington, I'd be all in the ears also.
Tegan Moore trying to get past his man and draws the foul. He hit the deck hard up into the stanchion. He's grabbing at the back of his head. 5:24 on the clock. And Moore headed to the line. And the sophomore came in averaging 18.6 rebounds a game in the first 4 wins for Western Kentucky.
He's such an important guy for Hank Plona because he was part of that Western Kentucky 2024 NCAA tournament team. He and Terrion Murdoch both. So they have that winning DNA. They know what it feels like in March playing big games. And this kid's going to carry the Hilltoppers all year in that Conference USA, which we've already talked about. Liberty's the heavy favorite, Kennesaw State, New Mexico State. From what I've seen from Western Kentucky, they're going to be in the fight as well.
Last year finishing 7th in Conference USA. They went 17 and 15, 8 and 10 in the league. Much higher expectations this year. Here's Miles with it. So back to a 10-point game. Duke Miles kind of searching for contact, banks it in.
Boy, what a great job by Miles to have just enough contact by himself to not get called for a foul, but create airspace for the shot.
Set a really nice one, 22 more. Way downtown, though. And another whistle along the baseline. 67-55 Vanderbilt. Trying to move on into the semifinals tomorrow. The foul will go against Okereke, his 4th.
Watch Miles right here. I mean, that could have also been an offensive push-off. If I'm Hank Plona, I'm not happy about it, but an older guy, we talked about he played here last year, won the battle for Atlantis with Oklahoma, just knows how to score.
Silabonge makes number 1. Moore will head to the bench along with Murdoch for Kentucky. At least for a little bit of a rest here. Silabonge is 64% at the line. Miles looking to make a move, and he'll draw another whistle. 4:44 left. Neely coming off the bench. He'll pick up the foul. And Chandler Bing returns. The freshman from Atlanta for Vandy.
So look at that lineup. Mark Byington's got 2 really good guards, Tanner and Miles, that should have that ball in their hands for the remaining 4:44 of this game. Typically low turnover guys. They make free throws. They're tough. They're smart. Closeout guards, number 2 and number 3.
Duke Miles is saying, hey, I won this thing last year.
Yeah.
Guys, jump on my back. 23 points and 3 assists. And very good at the foul line as well to make it 69-55.
You know what Duke Miles is on when he comes to Atlantis? He's on a heater. He won this thing last year and 23 today. What our officials is?
Jerry the Heater. May find him in the casino after this one. Laid up and in on a strong drive by Silabage. And a 6-8 grand from Montreal with 7 points.
Now look at Mark Byington. He's guarding his own team right now by calling play calls. Slow the pace down a little bit, understanding time, score, momentum, determining shot selection. And keeping the ball in the hands of number 2 and number 3.
Foul off the ball here against Western Kentucky. And that'll send Tanner to the line.
TT, as he's referred to, in case you didn't hear in the first half. 3 Tylers, he's TT. And then Tyler Nickel is T-Nick. And then Tyler Harris is Tyler Harris.
Yeah, just the boring one.
Just the boring one.
Knocked down the first. Great foul shooter.
Yeah, his dad, Dwayne, the old Southwest Conference that I played in when I was a Razorback, career steals leader at Rice in the history of the Southwest Conference. And you can see the fast hands that he has also as a defender.
Yeah, his son broke Vandy's freshman steals record last year. He's 11 points. Here's Bone to launch it. Got another 3.
That's the next step in his development, but it doesn't look bad coming off of his wrist at all. Well, that percentage will grow as this year goes on.
I'm telling you, he is a fun player to watch because he can play high above the rim, and he can also do that from outside.
And mellow boom. Yes, they will sell T-shirts in Bowling Green before his career is over.
Boy, they can't stop McLaughlin, though. They keep feeding him, and he has 20.
Great hands and a great find by Tyler Tanner. Again, this team in black, they throw strikes.
More a little push off there on Bing. Spins the other way, and that's very smoothly done for 2.
Boy, just pivoted his way to 2 points, did he not?
10-point lead for the Commodores, but approaching the 3-minute mark here in the Bahamas. Tanner. Here's Duke Miles directing traffic. Shot clock to 10.
No one has touched it with 2 and 3 in black.
One knocked away to keep it. That's with 5. 2:58 to go. And Vanderbilt leading by 10. Exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Marriott Bonvoy and by Atlantis Paradise Island, Bahamas, the discovery of a lifetime. Jimmy Dykes, Dave O'Brien with you back on Paradise Island with 2:58 to go in this contest, and Vandy on top 73-63, even on the floor. Everybody's wearing the goggles, getting ready to go out and do a little diving. Get a little scuba in, have a great time here in the Bahamas. We certainly have so far. And Vandy just trying to hold off Western Kentucky and hang them with their first loss of the year. Vandy trying to go to 6-0 on the season.
Yeah, I like your description, hold off, because it has felt like that most of the second half for Vanderbilt. Just cannot put Western Kentucky away. Nothing changes if you're Mark Byington. Defend without fouling. Take care of that basketball. Trust Duke Miles and Tyler Tanner. But right now, Vandy with only 5 on the shot clock, so a short clock to work with from this near side.
Boy, Byington, one of the sharpest coaches in college basketball.
Yeah.
And he's got a good group. He's now gotten in the top 25 for the first time this season. It's going to be a violation of the shot clock, so it'll go back over to Western Kentucky. 16 turnovers today for a team that came in number 2 in the nation in fewest turnovers per game at 7.6.
They have been sped up on the offensive end of this floor. They have moved the ball well, but they've also turned it over. 17 assists on Vanderbilt's 23 makes. That's the good part of their offense.
Hilltop Hilltoppers need someone to get really hot. Is it going to be Moore? He left that one short. The tip, no. Followed the miss. He made that and took a foul, too.
He is a warrior with a capital W. Tegan Moore just single-handedly drives this thing with force. A great play call by Hank Clone to come out of the timeout. Spread the floor, get your best player, your most determined guy in the middle third, and just let him go to work. And he just outworked the entire Vanderbilt team.
21 points for Tegan Moore, now 22. Get the idea, if they are going to come back and pull off a giant upset here, and in fact they were down 13, 14 points earlier, it's going to be on the back of Tegan Moore. 73-66. Nickel catches, fires, got it.
That's big time by Tyler Nickel and a big time play call by Mark Byington. He goes ball screen up top, but the second guy involved in the screening action is a big time shooter, Tyler Nickel. And a quick, violent cut without the ball. You're going to see a ball screen up top. This gets initiated by Collins. He comes off of it. McLaughlin dives. Nickel pops. Boom. And a short closeout by Hafner, which you cannot have. Hafner should know it. He's guarding a guy that shoots it like himself. And Tyler Nickel just sticks a big one.
Well, in SEC games last year, he was #1 in the league at 45% from three-point distance.
Introducing Verts. Swipe for news and highlights. Now available on the ESPN app.
So 2:17 to go, back up to 10 for Vandy after the Nickel three-point make. And now we'll see what Tegan Moore has in the tank for these last couple of minutes. They need him desperately.
The last time Western Kentucky in position, they got Tegan Moore in the middle third and just let him go one-on-one. Vanderbilt says, okay, we're going to show you zone and take away Tegan Moore's drive.
Verdicts to penetrate all the way through for two.
And you got to stay in front of the ball regardless of what defense you're in.
Collins across midcourt. 1:45 left. Collins on the freshman Boone. Miles has been the top star for Vandy. Draw a foul by Terrian Murdix.
When Murdix had him down, he was going to force that ball to go down the left side. He just got a little too aggressive up into the handler.
And fouled out with that one.
Yeah, it's a tough one. This kid's all about winning. And doing all he could that time to not let that ball screen be used. A little too aggressive.
Keep in mind, too, the Hilltoppers have been able to hang in this game without the services of Grant Newell, the 6'9" senior, for a huge chunk of it because of an ankle injury in the first half. 15 points a game for the senior.
A big loss. Tegan Moore came in averaging 18. This is the second leading scorer for the Hilltoppers, averaging 15 in just 21 minutes. Highly productive offensive guy that they have been without.
So Miles back to the line to shoot two. And he's been perfect today, 9 for 9. So here's number 2 for the grad from Montgomery, Alabama. 26 points for Duke Miles. Kind of likes this floor in the Bahamas, no doubt.
There's something about ballroom basketball that suits his eyes.
Hafner back in, gets the three. And timeout, Hilltoppers, 18 for Hafner.
I think we talked about it just 3 or 4 minutes ago. I think we actually illustrated it. That's their comeback offense, is 30 in red in the middle, driving downhill, and Hafner coming up top for threes. And you got to stay on top of him. You just can't slam the door shut right now if you're Vanderbilt. Tegan Moore just gets the ball going downhill just enough to get the shooter behind. And there's no one tagging Hafner as he rolls to the top and keeps the Hilltoppers punching in this game.
Boy, it's looked on several occasions like Western Kentucky was going to be knocked out of this game.
Yeah.
And back they come, forcing a key turnover, making a big shot. And it's really been a variety of guys for Hank Plona's team. It's not just been Tegan Moore, but we've talked about the fact that Armello Boone has made several big plays. Cam Hafner has as well, and a handful of other guys.
We had really good showing by Western Kentucky. And Hank Plona is an old school coach, man. He fought his way through junior college ball and adapt to the challenges that go on there, rebuilding your roster every year, getting guys to buy in quickly. They come in unscathed to Atlantis and 4-0 and taking on what I think is going to be one of the better teams in the SEC, Vanderbilt, and they just refuse to go away. That speaks a lot about just the toughness and the mental strength that this team from Bowling Green, Kentucky plays with.
Western Kentucky out of timeouts. Vandy has the possession arrow. Regardless of how this game finishes out, this is not a team that's going to finish in the bottom third of Conference USA.
Not at all. That's a good league, and Hank Plona's going to make it better. A really good basketball job over the years. They care about that sport.
Collins gets it across. Now the double. Miles gives it up. Vandy moves the ball so well. Such a good passing team. As we approach 1 minute to go here in the first game of this tournament. Miles firing the pass, but gives it away. Hafner with the steal. Hafner inside, laid up and in by Silabage. Don't look now, this is a 5-point game with 50 seconds to play.
And Mark Binding's got his 3 point guards on the floor trying to close it out. Collins, Miles, and now Tyler Tanner as well. But just the relentless length and pressure of Western Kentucky finally wore down Duke Miles. And appreciate Hafner to put the brakes on and find a cutter and not get himself stuck as well. Just cannot put this Western Kentucky team away.
It'll put Frankie Collins at the line. He's shooting 2. Graduate out of Sacramento misses the first.
So regardless, it's going to be a 2-possession game. You cannot let Hafner, number 3 in red, get a good look. You take him out with a top block defense, and then you try to keep Moore from going downhill if you're Vanderbilt.
Wow, they missed the ball.
Wow, this is huge.
43 seconds to go. Hilltoppers with the ball. Moore gives it up for Hafner, draws the double. Back for Moore. Here's Boone, who's in a couple of threes. He launches. Too strong. And a whistle, and that'll go the other way. The foul on Western Kentucky.
Boy, big time play by Vanderbilt's McLaughlin because he got switched off on Hafner. Did a great job of taking away his 3-point shot, but then from that point on, he was kind of mismatched, and the quickness of Hafner couldn't get around McLaughlin to keep the ball alive. I said he's the mid for Vanderbilt this year, the most important guy. He just came up with a huge defensive rebound.
Devin McLaughlin at the line, the senior. And can't hit the first one. And look at our player of the game, brought to you by Barbasol. Duke Miles has been terrific in the clutch as well, 26 points.
Boy, automatic from the free throw line. They've needed every one of them. And again, we're still at a 2-possession game.
And he hit the second one, McLaughlin did. Vandy by 6, 21 points for him. Moore picked away, stolen away by Collins. And he's fouled from behind by Silabage.
That was a great job by Collins. He was guarding his shooter in the corner, and as Moore started driving that ball downhill, he did not come off that shooter until Moore gave him the basketball. Look at this right here. Moore just right there with the shooter, and then sneaks in from behind. A big-time job by Collins defensively.
And that'll roll away. There's 10 foul shots in this game. They could have put this thing away minutes ago. James will come on. And so Collins at the line. And his second one. And got that. 80-73. 17 seconds to play. And off for Moore. And a reach-in foul will stop the clock. Collins with the personal. With 11 seconds to go.
You have a short amount of turnaround time in this tournament. And in 24 hours, Vanderbilt will be back in here most likely in the semifinals if the miracle happens. But if you're Mark Byington, you've got to show your guys, we have got to defend without fouling. I know Western Kentucky plays a style that kind of brings the whistle into the game, but we've got to play with our chest. Our chest matters is how he was coaching it yesterday. And Vanderbilt just too active with their hands today allowed Western Kentucky to stay in this thing from the stripe.
More automatic at the line. And a timeout here by Vandy with 11 seconds to go, leading by 5. And Western Kentucky hoping for a miracle. But they have stayed in this game. They were on the verge of being knocked out several times. They were down by as many as 15 to Vandy. And still in it with 11 seconds to play.
Well, Vanderbilt came in the #1 scoring offense in the country early in college basketball, 103 points a game. They're only at 80 because they've turned the ball over too much. They've lost possession in this game, or they would be in the low 90s, if not more. If you're Vanderbilt right now, you got to remind your guys, it would be, we have a timeout left. If you get hung up and that count in your head and it gets to 1,004, call a timeout and let's reset, because you can't let a 5-second count here be a problem. If you're Western Kentucky, you're face guarding, you're pressuring, you're coming with all kinds of heat, trying to force a turnover and get that turnover into a quick-made basket and stay in this game.
Collins, the inbounds to McLaughlin. He's immediately fouled by Hafner. So to the other end we go. And if Vandy can make some foul shots, they can ice this game, but easier said than done so far for the Commodores. So it'll be Devin McLaughlin to shoot. And drops in number 1.
The value of McLaughlin, we talked about his versatility, even in press offense right now. You got to have somebody that can win the foot race to the ball, and McLaughlin did it at his position.
Going into this foul shot, he gets 22 points today. 102, still not over. Right, 81-76. Got to get it in the air. One's going to drive it, swatted away and a foul. McLaughlin race to the other end. They're going to count it. They are going to count that. That'll be goaltending.
They will review it, but they're going to make the goaltending call so they can go review it to make sure.
So they head to the monitor here with 4.2 to go.
I don't think the ball got on the backboard before the defender got a piece of it. This might give us a better look. What wasn't on the backboard? Was it on its way down? Is what they're looking at.
So they head to the monitor. They made the call on the floor. So they can go over the monitor with 4.2 to go, 81-77.
Yeah, under 2 minutes, the officials can look at this, but they make the call. KB Burdette came in and made the call, and now they're judging. Was that ball on its way down? It wasn't on the glass, but McLaughlin 99. It may have reached its apex, starting to come down. It's, well, I can see this one going either way. It's a crucial call right now in this game.
Western Kentucky able to force this one right down to the final seconds of play. And the officials, after taking a look at that, will get together now. KB Burdette, Will Howard, and Jerry Heater. Give you one more look.
Yeah, they're gonna count the basket, goaltending, and the free throw. All 3 officials did a good job of waiting in, looking at it, talking it through. With a made free throw, this this is a one-possession game.
They've also reset the clock to 4.8 as Bruin goes to the line to shoot. They could make this a 3-point game. Then he does.
It's a one-possession game. Vandy has a timeout and to use if they get hung up right here on their press break. Clockton was the last guy that won the foot race for the ball, 99 in black. Does he do it again?
Collins to put it in. Bounces it in for Miles. He gets 3. Final seconds at midcourt. 1.9 as he draws the foul.
It will be such a risky pass. You're expecting Miles on a full sprint when that ball's thrown to the corner to secure the ball and make the turn and get going down that floor. High-risk pass pays off, but got to close it out now with just one made free throw if you're Duke Miles.
Boone heading to the bench. He's 10 for 10 at the line. He has one Commodore has made his today and continues to do that.
He's put everybody off the free throw line, right, for Vanderbilt.
Yep.
Don't risk anything crazy. Yeah, exactly. Don't come close to anybody. How much clearer can you be as a head coach?
I think we're going to take that one to heart.
That's pretty clear, yeah.
He's clear as a bell. He made the pair. 83-78, 5-point game. Staying clear, boy, will launch it, and that's it. 83-78. Vandy hangs on to beat Western Kentucky. That got close. That got hairy down the stretch.
Vanderbilt had to work, and they advance right now. They'll take off the winner of the next one, which will be a track meet as well. VCU in South Florida.
That's coming up next on ESPN2. Hope you'll join myself, Dave O'Brien, and Jimmy Dykes for that one. Ninth session tonight will be Corey Alexander and Kevin Brown coming your way. Some really good basketball tonight. Subin and the guys coming your way. Our final score, 83-78. Vandy moves on to the semis here in the Bahamas. More to come in just a bit.